Hi guys, JT here. October's Humble Monthly has dropped, and the big question is, are these games actually worth your time? I'm breaking down everything in this month's Humble Monthly so you'll know exactly what you're getting before you buy. If you decide to pick it up, the links down below will get you straight to the bundle and also help the channel in the process. Your support seriously means everything, and I can't thank you enough. Anyway, let's get into this. And number 1. The featured game of this month, Atomic Heart, a narrative-driven first-person shooter set in a surreal, retro-futuristic Soviet world, where utopia has gone spectacularly wrong. You play as a gruff agent exploring a crumbling research facility overrun by rogue robots, deranged scientists, and unnerving androids. It is weird, it is ambitious, and it is undeniably beautiful, a strange fusion of Bioshock, Fallout, and Westworld that keeps you guessing whether you should laugh, cringe, or just marvel at the chaos. The world of Atomic Heart is a masterpiece of design. Every corner of a shining Soviet dream turned nightmare is packed with haunting detail. The porcelain-faced androids and twisted machinery ooze personality, and you will constantly find yourself stopping to stare. Unfortunately, the storytelling is not as consistent. The script swings wildly between sharp satire of Russian exceptionalism and ridiculous profanity, leaving you unsure if you're supposed to take it seriously. Combat mixes melee brawling with plasmid-style powers via your talking glove, but the weapons and abilities often feel underpowered until upgraded. The crafting and looting systems are satisfying at first. You'll love vacuuming loot across rooms, but upgrading gear becomes grindy fast. Still, when everything clicks, battles feel dynamic and explosive, especially when juggling enemies mid-air with electric shocks and rockets. Atomic Heart tries to tackle big political and philosophical themes, critiquing Soviet nostalgia and technological hubris, though it sometimes buries these ideas under absurd dialogue and clunky pacing. Yet, despite its uneven writing and frustrating fetch quests, the game's ambition and atmosphere make it hard to forget. You'll experience moments of brilliance followed by sheer bafflement, but that unpredictability is part of Atomic Heart's charm. It is messy, fascinating, and often breathtaking, a flawed yet unforgettable dive into a world gone deliriously wrong. And number 2 we have V Rising, a game that stands out in the crowded survival game genre with a unique take on vampire survival. In this game, you step into the shoes of a resurrected vampire, surviving in a world dominated by humans. You aren't the usual overpowered vampire trope. Instead, you start from scratch, constructing your castle, gathering resources, and hunting for blood to grow stronger. The game poses challenges, requiring strategic thinking and resourcefulness. Combat involves battles against vampires, humans, and nocturnal creatures, with the added complication of being vulnerable to sunlight during the day. The diverse enemies and demanding boss encounters promise substantial rewards for your efforts. Despite a lack of major marketing, V Rising received positive reviews for its innovative approach to survival games and robust crafting and action mechanics. Selling over 1 million copies in its first week, it has been both a commercial and critical success. However, criticisms include occasional bugs and glitches and concerns about weak endgame content impacting the game's overall polish. Pros of V Rising include impressive graphics, satisfying combat, ample content, and a fair yet challenging gameplay experience. On the downside, the game can feel grindy and repetitive, common in survival games, and persistent bugs may affect the overall enjoyment. V Rising offers a rewarding and unique vampire survival experience. With impressive graphics, engaging combat, and diverse activities, including castle building and exploration, it presents a well-crafted and challenging game. If you're a fan of vampires or survival games, V Rising is definitely worth exploring. And number 3 we have System Shock, an FPS survival horror remake of the 1994 classic rebuilt by Night Dive Studios in Unreal Engine 4. You play as a hacker who, after tampering with the AI Shogun at the request of a corrupt executive, awakens on Citadel Station to find the facility overrun with mutants, cyborgs, and Shogun's ruthless presence watching your every move. The remake captures the spirit of the original with striking visuals, oppressive atmosphere, and a faithful recreation of Citadel's labyrinthine halls. Exploring each floor rewards you with new weapons, cybernetic powers, and scraps of lore, while Shogun remains as chilling and charismatic as ever. The cyberspace segments, redesigned as colorful Descent-style bullet hell sequences, feel modern while retaining their 90s flavor. However, Night Dive's reverence cuts both ways. Citadel Station is still a confusing maze, with endless backtracking and a lack of modern conveniences like mission markers. You'll often rely on audio logs and notes to track objectives, which can be frustrating when combat or puzzles distract you. The interface works best with keyboard and mouse, as gamepad controls feel cramped under the weight of so many powers and items. Despite these quirks, this remake succeeds in bringing a landmark immersive sim to modern players. You'll experience both the brilliance and the clunkiness of a 1994 design philosophy, wrapped in a fresh coat of sci-fi horror. It's not a reinvention, but it's a definitive way to face Shogun today. At number 4 we have Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town, a relaxing farming and life simulation game where you inherit your grandfather's rundown land and turn it into a thriving homestead. You'll plant crops, raise animals, mine for materials, and befriend the locals in a small cozy town that's full of charm and daily routines. It is a slower-paced slice-of-life experience meant to unwind you rather than challenge you. You can customize your farm however you like, build fences, automate feeding, and design layouts freely. The freedom to place facilities anywhere feels refreshing, and exploring mysterious areas like floating islands or volcanic realms adds a nice touch of fantasy. There's also a big focus on relationships, with plenty of characters to meet and over 200 events to discover. You can even pursue romance regardless of gender, giving the game a welcome sense of inclusivity. The downside is that Pioneers of Olive Town sometimes feel too simplified. Tasks like farming and relationships have been made easier, which can make long-term progression feel repetitive. The controls also take some getting used to, and there are reports of performance issues and a few lingering bugs. Still, once you settle into the rhythm, the charm of Olive Town and the satisfaction of watching your farm grow become hard to resist. If you're after a cozy, low-pressure farming experience with heartwarming characters and endless tinkering, Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town is a peaceful escape worth taking. At number 5 we have Cryptmaster, a darkly humorous dungeon-crawling RPG, where words, not weapons, are your greatest tool. You and your undead party must navigate eerie monochrome dungeons under the guidance of the sardonic Cryptmaster, using an ever-growing lexicon of words to battle enemies, solve riddles, and unearth the secrets of the underworld. Unlike standard typing games, Cryptmaster does not just throw preset words at you. It forces you to recall and strategically use discovered words in combat. Each battle rewards you with letters from enemy names, which help unlock new words, creating a unique puzzle-like challenge. But don't expect to mindlessly spam high-damage words. Cooldowns, enemy resistances, and letter restrictions keep you thinking on your feet. Beyond combat, the game offers clever puzzles, lateral thinking riddles, and side activities like Whatever, a mini-game woven seamlessly into conversations. The game's grim yet playful atmosphere is amplified by a striking art style and the Cryptmaster's dry, mocking voice performance. While the monochrome art style is atmospheric, it can feel visually repetitive. Also, playing with the control is not ideal for a typing-based game, though the developers have made solid efforts to make it viable. Fortunately, turn-based combat options ensure accessibility for those less comfortable with fast typing. Cryptmaster transforms a niche skill into something thrilling, blending wordplay with dungeon crawling in an unforgettable way. If you're a fan of unique RPG mechanics, dark humor, and quick thinking, this is one Crypt worth exploring. At number 6 we have Shogun Showdown, a turn-based roguelike deck builder that grabs you from the tutorial and refuses to let go. You step into the role of a miniature pixelated samurai, battling waves of enemies across a tight tile-based 2D battlefield. Each move you make costs a turn, and with enemies reacting immediately after, every step, strike, or pause must be calculated like a chess match. Instead of a traditional deck of cards, you wield a rotating set of attack tiles, sword slashes, ranged arrows, or later, flashy abilities with special effects. These tiles execute in order, adding a satisfying layer of strategy as you rearrange them in mid-combat to land the perfect combo. You can buff your loadout, reduce cooldowns, and unlock new abilities that make each run feel fresh, with plenty of meaningful progression between attempts. Shops let you recover health or upgrade your skills, and the roguelike elements reward each successful playthrough with skulls. These unlock new characters with wildly different starting builds and tiles, changing your tactics entirely. With days that escalate difficulty while boosting rewards, the game gives you reason to come back again and again. The 8-bit feudal Japan art style is striking, with charming animations and pixelated gore that inject just enough humor. There's no narrative fluff, just you, your skills, and the battlefield. If you love tightly designed roguelikes with tactical depth and tons of unlockables, Shogun Showdown delivers. You'll come for the simplicity, stay for the mastery, and lose track of time before you know it. At number 7 we have Hotel Renovator, a first-person simulator where you inherit your grandfather's dilapidated hotel and transform it into a thriving business. If you enjoy games like House Flipper or Gas Station Simulator, you'll feel right at home here. The premise is simple: clean, demolish, decorate, and manage. Yet the variety of tools, design choices, and random events keep things engaging. You begin by clearing out junk with a broom and crowbar, later upgrading to heavier tools like a sledgehammer or even a dynamite for fast demolition. The creative side is where the game shines. Walls can be painted, wallpapered, or spray painted, while furniture offers multiple styles, fabrics, and colors. Each guest room has basic requirements, but you're free to personalize layouts and experiment with bold designs. Optional guest requests, like adding a surfboard or special wallpaper, add variety and rewards. The hotel is not just about renovation, you also manage guests. Assistants like Yumiko or the cheerful robot BB-101 handle check-ins while you design. Quirky events such as fixing leaks, catching ghosts, or dealing with the mischievous chicken mascot keep the story playful. Progress unlocks new furniture, upgrades like automatic room cleaning, and more luxurious options to improve guest satisfaction. Visually, the color palettes and textures are pleasing, though character animations feel stiff. Performance can stutter during heavy demolition, but overall stability is solid. The sound design, from wallpapering to tiling, is satisfying and immersive. With countless customization options, Hotel Renovator offers hours of creativity. While the management side feels underdeveloped, the decorative loop is addictive and rewarding. At number 8 we have Caravan SandWitch, a post-apocalyptic exploration game that trades stress and combat for calm storytelling and discovery. You play as Saj, returning to the ruined planet of Sigalo after 6 years away when a distress signal from your missing sister sparks your journey. While the premise suggests tension, the game delivers a relaxing, thoughtful experience where exploration and connection take center stage. Sigalo is a world scarred by human mistakes, yet still beautiful. You'll roam deserts, forests, and ancient ruins, either on foot or in your trusty yellow van, which quickly becomes a companion as much as a tool. Driving is simple and forgiving, and with upgrades, the van feels like an evolving partner in your adventure. The map expands as you complete quests, giving you more room to explore without overwhelming you. Quests and side quests blend seamlessly. You'll help residents, gather parts, and solve environmental puzzles, often climbing, running, or piecing together equipment. The lack of combat or timers means you can approach tasks at your own pace. Accessibility options are extensive, from motion sickness reduction to audiovisual cues, making exploration smoother and more inclusive. The cast is diverse and vibrant, from humans to robots to the indigenous Reinatos. Everyone feels distinct, with inclusive representation thoughtfully woven into dialogue and relationships. Though your main quest pushes the narrative forward, it is easy to get joyfully lost in side stories and character interactions. Caravan SandWitch is a standout chill adventure, colorful, heartfelt, and wonderfully unhurried. It makes the end of the world feel oddly hopeful. And that's all for this month's Humble Monthly. To wrap up this bundle, this month's haul is a total good game. It packs heavy hitters, surprise indies, and legit variety. Whether you're chasing a AAA flair or indie gems, this bundle smashes it. If even a few of these slam into your wishlist, you'll feel like you got 100% value. So grab it, pop those keys, and flex your game library. This one's a win. Just know that Atomic Heart is unavailable in some countries, due to distribution issues between VK and Humble. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.